And so begins the search for that first big job. Like most graduates fresh out of college, hopes are high, and so's the angst.
Like, what are we going to do next? Or everyone's just trying to build their portfolio.
Prospects for job hunters under 25 haven't been this good since StatsCan started tracking the numbers. Youth unemployment dropped to its lowest level in 4 decades. A lot of the jobs are in construction, as well as the retail and wholesale sectors. But Wendy Lawton studied security and law enforcement.
I'm trying to drive away from retail, but it's like that's all I can get right now. Because like we're students, part-time, stuff like that, so it's very hard.
Driving that job growth, wages are up, so that's pushing consumer demand. So are low interest rates. People's household finances are still strong despite debt. Immigration continues to stimulate the economy and jobs.
It is very hard to poke any holes in it. It points to an economy that really is rebounding.
This economist says the expectations were low for 2019, yet Canada has added more jobs in the first 4 months of this year than it did all of last year.
About half the jobs created in April were jobs for youth under 25, and so it's almost certainly the case that a decent share of those are students who are coming out of school and into the workforce, and they're being met with some strong demand for their skills.
Still, for young people, it was mostly part-time work, and those who help youth find work say flexibility and resilience are needed.
A lot of the employment is still precarious, a lot of part-time, and even the full-time stats, some of that is contract work, meaning obviously there's a defined end date.
Those record-breaking April job numbers could be revised downward. They're just a snapshot. But for young people entering the job market, it's an encouraging picture. Vic Adopia, CBC News, Toronto.
Now, in an election year, good job numbers are great news for a sitting government, usually. But so far, the Trudeau government stock isn't exactly rising with the job market. And as Salima Shipji shows us, it's not for a lack of trying.
In an area hit by the downturn, with a cabinet minister who may lose his seat this fall, the Prime Minister was keen to play up the positive.
But let me start off right off the bat by highlighting massive new numbers released by StatsCan just this morning. In April, Canadians created over 100,000 jobs.
Setting up a political choice for Canadians.
Think about that. These results wouldn't have been possible under austerity measures.
A song on repeat from the Liberals back in Ottawa, too.
We had a plan for Canadians to help real Canadians. Today's job numbers show that that plan is working.
In Stephen Harper's last year, they celebrated 72,000 jobs in 1 year, 106 jobs in 1,000 jobs in 1 month. That's independent advice they should listen to and take note of.
A standing ovation on his side of the aisle, scorn on the other.
It's evident that the jobs they're talking about had nothing to do with Vice Admiral Norman because they cared nothing about his job.
The Norman case dropped by prosecutors this week and the SNC-Lavalin affair, both hurting the government and drowning out all else. After months of trying to tout positive economic news, the Prime Minister can't seem to get past the damage to his personal brand.
They've been so off message and so off their game and so bedeviled really by scandals, arguably of their own making over the last several months, that they have lost time. They have things to talk about. They just need to be able to cut through the noise.
She says there is time for Trudeau and the Liberals to recover and bring the focus back to the economy before the election. But it's not a surefire win. The Conservatives would be all too delighted to have a debate on the carbon tax and tap into economic anxiety. Salima Shipji, CBC News, Ottawa.